And what is being done to get the public to really rise up in various states to say to their senators that they want to see the border issue resolved? I mean, you're getting migrants beating up policemen in the streets in New York. You're seeing an influx of migrants all over the country that frankly have people outraged. And couldn't there be some kind of public pressure put in the next couple of days in some of these senator states saying, why are you allowing this to continue? Because at the end of the day, senators have to deal with their voters. And at the same time, in the bill, you give money to Gaza, to civilians in Gaza and Israel. But the border, I mean, we're looking every day at the invasion of migrants, and they're playing a time game with politics on this. Couldn't that pressure put to bear in their home states?
All right, guys, so the writing's on the wall for the Democrat Party, especially when it comes to this issue of the border. Now, how do you know that the writing's on the wall? Well, you have race hustler Democrat propagandists like Al Sharpton going on MSNBC and saying that the border crisis is an invasion, which is something that Democrats told us was a racist thing to say. You're not supposed to call what is going on at the border an invasion, right? You're not supposed to say that. But again, when you have left-wing lunatics like Al Sharpton coming out here and telling the truth about what's happening at the border, you know that it is bad, okay? And the reason why he's saying that is because, one, the black folks that support him, which again is a very unfortunate thing if you're black and you support Al Sharpton, they're telling him that, hey, black people are not cool with what's happening when it comes to the illegal immigration crisis, because a lot of the illegals are being placed in so-called black and brown neighborhoods by these Democrat mayors, okay, like Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson in Chicago. And then two, the Democrat Party all of a sudden is going to try to act like they're tough on the border because they're trying to win the election in 2024, right? So the talking points are now going to change considering how Joe Biden is getting destroyed on this issue, okay? And one of the reasons why Joe Biden and Democrats are getting destroyed on this issue is because Democrats are showing that they will bend over backwards to take care of illegal immigrants and to do things for illegal immigrants that they won't even do for their own people, right? They won't do it for homeless vets, but they will take care of illegals, okay? They will give them free health care, mental health services, free housing. They're going to spend taxpayer dollars on the illegal immigrants in ways that they never would for American citizens. And one of the latest stories to go viral and to piss off a whole lot of people is the Food Stamps for Illegals program that is being piloted in New York City by Mayor Eric Adams. Okay, this is a $53 million food stamp program, because that's essentially what it is. That's what it's the equivalent to of SNAP for illegal immigrants, because the illegals don't like eating the food that has been cooked for them, right? So New York decided that, hey, well, we'll just allow the illegals to buy whatever food they want since they don't like the food we're giving to them, which again is funny because if you're here and you're seeking asylum, you would think that you would be grateful for any food that you get and you wouldn't be over here making demands for what food you're going to eat and what food you're not going to eat, especially if you're supposed to be leaving or fleeing political persecution. Apparently, Caracas isn't all that bad, okay? So, again, this is taking place in New York City, okay? And people like 50 Cent has spoken out about this, saying that, hey, Trump may be the answer because of what Democrats are doing. And we all know what happens anytime a black rapper or a black person that's a celebrity in general falls out of line with the Democrat Party. Democrats in the media come out here and they try to re-educate, aka reprogram that black celebrity because they may have too much influence over how black people vote. And that's exactly what's happening to 50 Cent as Mayor Eric Adams has responded to 50 Cent, and we're going to play his response. And also we're going to play Joy Reid's response as well to 50 Cent, and then I'm going to react to it.
And so I know that on the first brush, you look at it and say, oh, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're giving people cars? But once you dig into the numbers and in the line, you'll see that this was a smart policy shift that we're doing on a pilot project with 500 people. If this is successful, we're going to expand it even more so that we can bring down, we got to bring down the cost. 20% we want to bring down the cost, and their team are doing their job. So I told 50 Cent to hit me up. I would love to explain it to him so that he can go out and do another tweet of saying, you know what, Eric is just a smart manager, and now we understand why he was elected by the people of the city of New York to be the mayor. He may even write a song about me.
And I also want to say Joy Ann Reid did a wonderful response to Fiddy, where she really breaks it down. So I encourage everybody to look at that. And as the mayor said, this is a part of a $2 billion, up to almost $2 billion reduction in costs that the team has really pushed forward.
Okay, guys. So rapper 50 Cent posted on his IG page, on his Instagram, this post, which talks about a $53 million program that the current mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, is launching to hand out prepaid debit cards to migrant families in New York. And he's quoting this New York Post article, the Rupert Murdoch-owned New York Post. Have to always throw that in, same people on Fox News, quoting this article about that program. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, in the comments on 50's post, there are lots of people going off saying, you know, why are we giving this money to migrants when we're not giving that money to Americans? Lots and lots and lots of pro-Trump argle-bargle, because, of course, 50 ends his rant about it by saying maybe Trump is the answer. Really? Food waste. Food waste has been a major problem at migrant shelter city, with new arrivals coming from countries around the globe wanting culturally familiar food. More than 170,000 migrants have made their way to the 5 boroughs since the spring of 2022, and the tens of thousands in the city's care have raised concerns about the financial impact on city coffers. So basically, people are already coming anyway. Why are they coming? In part because of Ron DeSantis and the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who are literally shipping migrants to blue cities like New York. So the reason that New York is now overrun with migrants from places like Venezuela is because they're being sent there by Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, red state Trumpy MAGA governors. Now, the program is going to be administered by an organization called MoCaFi. Who is MoCaFi? I mean, it's Black History Month. We do still support Black-owned businesses, right? A little bit more about MoCaFi. MoCaFi is the mobile capital finance company. It's a Black-owned digital banking platform that targets more than 50 million unbanked and underbanked people in the U.S. Today, they have enrolled more than 25,000 users, raised more than 60 million in seed rounds, collaborated with Fortune 100 companies, and established a presence in major U.S. cities. So they open accounts for people who are underbanked, and that is overrepresented by Black folks. So to summarize, yes, New York City is going to spend $53 million, which is a fraction of New York City's budget, in order to make sure that the people they're already paying to house and feed in New York City shelters are able to pick their own food and buy it, rather than waste the food that they're mass serving in these shelters that's being thrown in the trash. They're going to partner with a Black-owned business and allow people to buy food at local bodegas, which is going to get those bodegas paid cash money. So they're saving money. They're doing what they already are doing anyway, spending less money on food, getting bodegas paid, and partnering with a Black-owned business.
Wow, incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. Okay, this is what I'm talking about when I say that these people who come out here and claim that they're pro-Black, that actually really doesn't mean they're pro-Black. That actually means they're pro-progressive, right? Again, they love using race politics to push their cultural Marxism, right? This is what they do. This is another example of that, because Joy Reid is trying to frame this as, well, this is a pro-Black thing, okay? Oh, wait, no. You need to support this because it reduces costs, because the migrants come over here from all over the world, and they don't want to eat the food that we're giving them. Even though they claim to be seeking asylum, by the way, right? You claim that you're being politically persecuted. You're coming from impoverished countries, right? You're doing so bad. You down so bad that you had to make that trek across the world to come here. And then you get here, and then you're trying to demand the type of food that you will and won't eat. Interesting, right? Funny how that works. So we have food being wasted. Okay, we were paying $11 per meal. Okay, which I think was way too much. Okay, I think it should have been more about four or five if we're going to feed them, right? But we're paying $11 per meal. You know what you can get with $11 per meal? Well, maybe not that much in Joe Biden's economy, but I'm just saying you would think that since the government's paying for it, they would get wholesale prices. But I'm just saying, $11 per meal, wholesale price. Okay, the migrants said, nah, we don't want that. We're going to throw it in the trash, right? So therefore, New York City decides that, you know what, instead we'll just give them food stamps, right? We'll just give them these prepaid cards in which they have to promise not to spend it on anything else except food and baby supplies, which we all know, considering the abuse of the food stamp system here by American citizens, that the illegals will most certainly abuse it, okay? That it will not work the way that they claim that it's going to work. But even still, you're giving these people food stamps on top of free housing, free health care that is causing taxpayers millions of dollars. And instead of Joy Reid blaming her Lord and Savior, Joe Biden, who is the cause of this because of his open border policies, no, she wants to blame Ron DeSantis and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, right? Because they refuse to deal with the issue themselves or be forced to take on all of the negative externalities of the issue. Again, it's amazing how that works. It's amazing. And then she further tries to justify this by saying, well, a black-owned business is getting the money, right? So again, if the money's being funneled, taxpayer money is being funneled to a black-owned business, oh, well, that justifies things, right? But it tells you what all this is really about, okay? It is about getting their friends paid with taxpayer dollars, okay? That's what a lot of this stuff is about. So again, you know, you got Mary Adams giving kickbacks to so-called black-owned businesses with taxpayer money, okay? And then they try to use that to justify taking your taxpayer money and giving it to illegal immigrants who are too uppity to eat the food that we give them, right? Food that, again, is already being paid for with taxpayer money. If you want to save money in regards to the food that we're giving to migrants, what you do is that you stop paying $11 per meal. Maybe you decide to pay $5 or $6 per meal. And if the illegal immigrants decide they don't want to eat it, then you know what? Hey, too bad, so sad. Right? If you don't want to eat it, then it is what it is. But what we're not going to do is that we're not going to give you food stamps, right? Which is what they're doing, so that you can go and buy whatever you want and essentially abuse the system. You can be living high off the hog of taxpayer dollars, eating whatever you want, while also at the same time getting all these other free goods and services that are paid for with taxpayer dime, right? In which people are clearly and obviously saying, hey, this is not right, okay? It's not right for the American people to be paying for people who don't pay taxes and essentially allowing them to live better lives than American citizens do, even though these people don't pay taxes. Again, in the ideal world, you don't have to feed them at all because you don't let them into the country, right? You don't let them into the country. So that way, again, you don't have to do that at all. But see, again, Joy Reid, once again, instead of actually taking the so-called pro-black stance as a so-called pro-black person and just called it like it is and saying that, hey, yeah, there's an invasion at the border, Joe Biden needs to close the border. Nah. She comes out here and defends taxpayer dollars being given to illegal immigrants who are being placed in black neighborhoods who eventually, once they get work permits, which they will at some point, they're going to take jobs away from black folks. She's defending that, right? She's defending it. Again, absolutely amazing stuff. And they think that this attempt to reprogram 50 Cent is going to work, right? They think that this is going to work. There's no finagling your way around what is food stamps for illegal immigrants, right? It doesn't matter how you frame it. I don't care about how much money you're saving, because in order to save the most money, we shouldn't be allowing them into the country in the first place. That's what you really should be talking about, right? That's what you really should be talking about. You really should be coming out here and talking about how we need to close the border and stop allowing all these people into this country. That's how you actually save the most money. But they don't want to have that conversation, right? Because if Joy Reid actually has that conversation, then she has to criticize her Lord and Savior, Joe Biden, right? Again, it tells you everything you need to know about Joy Reid. She has really revealed herself to be one of the biggest puppets in the mainstream liberal media that we have, okay? There's no bigger puppet in the liberal media than Joy Reid. So, 50, don't change your mind, right? You are absolutely right from the beginning. Trump is the answer, right? And don't let these Democrats try to gaslight you into believing anything different. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.